Well, joining us again is Pat. Welcome back, Pat.
Thanks, Wayne.
Pleasure having you here each time. And Pat, I think if we can pick up on where we were last time, we were talking about supply and demand levels. That was very interesting, especially when we looked at those gaps, and in particular with the main centres. If we go back into that research, does it help us understand where people are looking to buy?
Well, Wayne, there's two answers to that question. The first is people looking to buy property to live in, and the second answer is very common, people buying property as a residential investment.
Okay, so we're going to separate and we're going to say owner-occupiers or investors.
The results are interestingly different. To deal with the people looking for property to live in, the majority will always look in the area they live in now. It's a homing instinct we have. But this new research, though, is interestingly showing there's a trend to look outside the areas people are living in now. People are contemplating, especially Auckland people, are contemplating actually shifting out of Auckland. Now, we can look at that in the context that 11% of people employed in New Zealand work from home.
Okay.
So
this is interesting.
Yeah, in the traditional model, you would try and get a residential property near where you work, but it's decreasing in its requirement. For example, our little team at Property Press, for example, we've got 3 people that work full-time from home.
Wow, okay.
So you can work for an Auckland company, say, and live in Thames. You could work for a Dunedin company and live at Outram. It's not important to live close by your employment.
Boy, that's a big change, isn't it? That's interesting. And through the research, you're now analysing that and seeing that as part of what's coming through.
We're seeing Auckland residents or Auckland employed people looking to live in Tauranga.
Yeah.
So that's the change.
Yep.
As far as residential investments go, the standout to us, which is surprising, but you'll see it on the graph, is Wellington. People are looking to Wellington as a residential investment, probably because the capital investment hasn't gone up as much, or required capital investment as it has in some other areas, and I think it's really due to go up. And so people are looking for the better yields that they get from a lower capital input in Wellington. So that's the outstanding one, which you'll see on the graph.
Which, when you say outstanding, it is seriously outstanding. It sticks out, obviously.
Yeah.
It is such a difference.
Behind that, there's Auckland, northern suburbs, eastern suburbs, i.e. being the Far East, Howick, Pakuranga area, and Waitakere area. Auckland Isthmus, I think, is getting too expensive as a residential investment.
It's not good news for my patch, is it? But
as a residential investment,
out, it's good.
Yes, it is. The yield's higher, and we'll talk about yield in a minute. But and then followed by Waikato and Tauranga, which I think most people know are very active for residential investors.
And we're hearing those stories coming back from those regions also, aren't we? You know, real estate agents down there talking about the influx of the Auckland buyer.
And there's upward movement in the values simply because the demand is increasing. So it's a very interesting change in dynamic.
Fantastic. Look, I think what that is then showing is what we're hearing in the market is supported by your research. So people now, a change in the ability to work in one area, live in another. And the change in the thinking that it's now not it's not an investment property I need to drive past every day. We have it within my neighbourhood. It can be, in fact, in a different city. And you're saying Wellington's the main.
Too right. Wellington certainly stands out in the research as the place that people are focused on right now for residential investment.
Fantastic. Well, there you go, Wellington. Great news for you and Waikato and Tauranga, but I think those regions already know that. Pat, again, thank you very much. I love the way the research supports what we see out there. Thank you.
My pleasure. Lovely to be here, Wayne.
Thank you.